Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. And today I'm going to talk about two little short stories. The first one was from the episode 1 re-release novelization in paperback. James Luceno wrote a little short story at the end of it called Endgame. Endgame is basically Darth Maul's adventure during episode 1. He didn't just go to Naboo and sit there and twiddle his thumbs and wait for the Jedi to pop up. No. He got down to business. And this is weird because it kind of fits into Gungan Trouble, a book, the children's book that I mentioned earlier. There are stamps, the flying little pedestals. I think they're called stamps or staps that are traveling through the swamps to find the underwater cities. They're trying to map them out as best they can. So it kind of ties into Gungan Trouble, and which forces Boss Nass and the rest of them to leave the city. Well, Darth Maul goes on a mission to find where the cities are located because he wanted to make sure the Gungans are no threat. He wants to eradicate them too. And when he finds Boss Nass's city, it's already been emptied out and he suspects they're somewhere hiding. But he's doing a lot of work here, and there's a few things. He finds out he hates the Trade Federation. He thinks they're all gutless and spineless and how stupid they are. And hey, he's kind of worried it's not going to work with these knuckleheads around. He doesn't appreciate their cowardness a lot, which is a trait Darth Maul shares in a lot of books and stories. But the most interesting thing was, and I forgot, Darth Plagueis had already been written by James Luceno at this point. So Darth Maul finds out about Darth Plagueis. He doesn't, in the book, the novelization, Darth Maul has no clue Darth Plagueis exists. But it turns out, right before his death, when he's interviewing people on Naboo, he goes to King Varuna's old aides. And they say, yeah, so your buddy Palpatine and Hego Damask, he's like, wait, who? Because Darth Maul doesn't know this. Well, then he drops the name somewhere else when he's doing an interview, and they know too that he and Palpatine are chummy, and they're trying to rule the galaxy together. And he's like, who is this guy? He's never told me about this. He's like, is it possible that he's not a Sith? Is it possible he's being used? And by the end of this, when he gets cut in half, he realizes, I was just a tool. Yeah, I was never going to be a Sith Lord. I mean, all these thoughts start going, which is not true, because Sidious thought, well, I don't need Plagueis anymore. Now it'll be just me and Maul. But in Maul's mind, he went, this is all a big setup. I was being used the whole time. Like, he believes there is another Sith, and it's not him. His title of Darth was all fake. It's really good. I'd really forgotten about this story here. I mean, overall, I guess it's okay. But at the end, him finding out about Darth Plagueis and having thoughts and, thinking like, oh no, my life has all been a lie. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty deep too. So that's a good one. And as my heater decided to act up and make a bunch of noise, I am now re-recording the second story I want to get to. And this one is called Deep Spoilers by Ryder Wenham. It was in Star Wars Gamer issue number 4, and it's about Gungans. Okay, go figure, right? Boss Nass is super happy because after the events of episode 1, Gungan City has become a big tourist attraction, and he's holding bongo races, and he's all happy about this. These two bongo racers, Neb and Spleed, they crash, but they crash into a sacred mountain, which gets them suspended, which makes them have to work on the boss's Hebeglider, which another racer tries to destroy them, but destroys the Hebeglider instead. I don't really understand what was going on because I don't really understand the Gungan words. But then he gets suspended and the two other racers get reinstated and start racing again. That's basically it. Tarpals and Fossa are in this, and I think Ryder Wenham picks up the story from Star Wars Episode 1 Adventures here, where in the children's Episode 1 books, they were dating a little bit. They went out to see a bongo race. Well, now in this one, Fossa, there's like a little break chapter, so to speak, in the short story, where Fossa is asking why you have been ignoring me lately. You don't speak as to me no more. He's like, I'm not ignoring you. I'll be very busy, And I was like, is this a connection to those children's books? Could it be? I think it could be. Tarpals is hilarious in this because he doesn't like the tourists being here. They're not dressing in the traditional, Gungan garb. They're going on something called, he said, honeymoons. He doesn't know what a honeymoon is, but he sees people kissing. He doesn't feel comfortable with that. And so at the end, when Boss Nass wants to expand tourism even more, General Tarpals is just asking for some additional rules or him to post signs of people to kind of dress up like Gungan garb if they're going to walk around the city. But Boss Nass doesn't want to do that. That's bad for tourism. I mean, I give credit for Ryder Wenham for wanting to write more about Gungans, but he's got to be the only sole person who cares. I mean, he did those children's books, and now he did a short story. You really don't need any more after that. But, I mean, he holds the record in most Gungan stories, so you got to give it to him. But, like I said, just the Gungan verbiage is so hard to follow, and it's not very interesting. But it is unique. It is unique. I'll give it that. The whole time I really didn't care, but I have to tip my hat to him for wanting to write about Gungans in the first place. Anyway, those are the only 2 short stories I had to tell you today. See you next time with another video.